Hello, Elaine. Angelica, good morning.
Hello,
Natalia.
Dr. Wallach. Let's test your mic.
Dr. Joanne Conaway's on.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Let's see if we can hear you.
Does he have his sound on? Look at his microphone.
Hold on. It's coming.
Okay.
Dr. Wallach, say something.
Okay, he didn't connect to audio. Okay. Let me call him. I'll be back.
All right, go get him. You're all right. He's frustrated. Get him off the camera before he starts cussing. So exciting. All right, this is very good. This is good. It is showtime. So let's get Paul Croto on here. Do not put my face on the screen anymore, even if I'm talking.
Hello.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
We're ready to jam?
We are ready. Take it away, buddy. This is
all right. I'm so excited. I'm beyond excited today for this health summit. So Tom Chenault put this amazing event together. So let's all give Tom a big round of applause here.
This is fun.
Yay.
Tom has done an unbelievable job at setting all these events up. We've learned so much over the past couple of months because of Tom. And now he's put together this online health summit, which is just unbelievable. I mean, we have the smartest people that I know speaking today. And I get to host the whole thing. So I'm honored, and I'm just, again, beyond excited to be here. I've dedicated my whole life to health and nutrition. I've been a student of this topic for my whole life. And to be on this call today with these people is a dream for me. And so I encourage you to get out a notepad, to really treat this seriously, take great notes. As you know, there has been the past couple of months have been really tough on people, health-wise. And we've been made aware how valuable our health really is. It needs to be our number one priority in life. And these people today will teach you exactly how to take care of your health. But what I encourage you to do right now is set a health goal for yourself. If you could change anything about your health, what would it be? So maybe you want to lose some weight, or you want to have more energy, or you want to get off some medication you're taking, or whatever it is. Raise your health score. There has to be a reason for being here today. So think for a second here. What do you want to improve about your health? Write that down at the top of your notes, and listen to these speakers today as they're going to give you pointers on how to improve your health naturally. Now, our first speaker today. So I got to Youngevity about 7 years ago, and I learned so much from this one doctor. I owe him a lot, everything, really. I met Dr. Glidden about 7 years ago when I first got here, and he is just a wealth of information. He's a naturopathic doctor, and this gentleman is a straight shooter. He's not going to, beat around the bush. He's going to cut right to the chase and tell you how it is, straight up. I have the utmost respect for him. I believe he is one of the smartest people I've ever met. He really understands the human body on a very deep level, yet he can explain the human body on very simple terms, on a very easy level. So one of the books that I literally turn to on a daily basis is this book right here. And I will post this in the chat to get a link to go buy this book. But if there's a book I recommend getting, this is the one. It has an unbelievable resource for not only yourself getting healthy, but helping other people get healthy. Dr. Glidden's also a member of the Naturopathic Medicine Institute, and has a subscription service that we'll also put into the chat here, so you can get that and check that out. Because if you want to really learn how the human body works, this is the guy to study under. So without further ado, I want to turn the time over to Dr. Peter Glidden.
I can see him. Have you got him, Pat? Have you got him?
Pamela has to co-host him.
Okay, so let's.
He's coming.
I got him. Yeah, I can see him in here. I'm just trying to co-host him. There he is.
Awesome.
Hello, Dr. Glidden. How are you, sir? Uh-oh, he's got no mic. He's got no sound yet. You gotta.
There we go.
Okay,
He's
check.
unmuted.
Are we live?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very, very much. Thanks so much, everybody. Mr. Croto, that was really a very very kind introduction. I appreciate it. Thanks, Tom, for putting this together. I appreciate Youngevity Nation very much. I appreciate this community very much. Dr. Wallach has been my mentor for the last 10 years, and I owe him a great debt of gratitude because I'll go to my grave saying that Wallach has forgotten more about pathophysiology and applied medical nutrition than most doctors know. It's been a great blessing for me to have found Dr. Wallach and to have been able to mentor with him. So having said that, let's just jump right into the deep end of the pool. And, you know, like the fella said, perspective is important. We need perspective. And regretfully, when it comes to medicine, we haven't had a decent amount of perspective on medicine for over 108 years. Because here's what happened. In 1912, through the political persuasion and the power of the Carnegies and the Rockefellers, Congress granted the American Medical Association exclusive control over who could and who couldn't call themselves a doctor. It was effectively a hostile takeover of the medical marketplace, which has maintained its position at the top with the unimaginable wealth and political power of the pharmaceutical industry. And listen, this is not a diatribe against pharmacy. You know, thank God for insulin. Thank God for lidocaine. Thank God for general anesthesia, right? There's room in the world for everything. But my point here is, for the last 108 years, we haven't had room for everything because the medical marketplace has been completely monopolized by the MDs, who, it may interest and amaze everybody to understand, may be the nicest people that God ever created, but they don't practice medicine. Nobody practices medicine. Medicine is a big umbrella under which hang many different disciplines. Medical doctors are trained in allopathic medicine. I'm trained in naturopathic medicine, right? Osteopathic medicine, chiropractic medicine, Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, many different medical disciplines hanging under the big umbrella. But for the last 108 years, we have been socialized to think that the only real medicine is MD-directed medicine. And every other medicine is back of the bus, substandard, alternative medicine. Now listen, it may surprise you. Dr. Wallach and Dr. Conaway and myself, we don't practice alternative medicine. We practice naturopathic medicine. Saying that what we do is alternative is like saying, well, the only real dog is a Cocker Spaniel and every other dog is an alternative dog. That's nonsense, right? But this is the socialized meme that exists in the background of everybody's mind, not this group's mind, because you've all seen the light, but the vast majority of people in the world, not just the United States of America, but in the world, are laboring under this propagandized misconception that the only real medicine is MD-directed medicine and everything else is back of the bus, substandard nonsense. And this false belief in the superiority of the pharmaceutical method in allopathic medicine has killed more people than all world wars combined. It is a tragedy of biblical proportions. And we desperately need a free medical market. I mean, Benjamin Rush, one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence over 200 years ago, said this, and I'm paraphrasing: unless we put medical freedom into the Constitution, the time will come when medicine will organize itself into a dictatorship. To restrict the art of healing to one class of men or women and deny equal privileges to others will constitute the Bastille of medical science. All such laws are un-American and despotic, and that's exactly what's happened. But it happened 108 years ago, longer than anybody is alive today. So most people are not even aware that this is a monopoly because it's existed for such a long time. And this is a gigantic problem. Because in point of view, your medical doctor being trained in allopathic medicine is trained to manage disease with drugs. And that's one way of doing things. And managing disease with drugs is not a bad method if you have a bullet in your arm or a broken leg or a bleeding artery or trauma or you really, in point of fact, do need surgery, that's the wheelhouse of conventional medicine. But for everything else, for most of the conditions that most people go to the doctor for most of the time, it's a failed methodology. It is an old-fashioned, outdated methodology which is inconsistent with the reality of the human experience and inconsistent with natural law. This is why, well, the leading cause of death in the United States is MD-directed medical therapeutics. While these people have been in charge, heart disease increases, Alzheimer's increases, autism increases, obesity increases, type 2 diabetes increases. And don't even get me started about epidemics and pandemics. So because of the monopoly, however, nobody is aware that there are other medical professions which bring things to the table. And I've been doing this for 31 years now. And in the wonderful world of licensed and regulated naturopathic medicine, let me just talk a little bit about naturopathic medicine because it's important. Naturopathy argues that the human body is inhabited by a spiritual intelligence which is running the show, that our bodies are smart. Our bodies are so smart that they grew themselves all by themselves from a single cell into us. And, oh, by the way, are managing millions of biochemical processes right now, all of which are outside of our conscious control. We argue that there's a divine intelligence which inhabits the body, which is running the show. And the fundamental naturopathic maxim, the human body knows how to fix itself. The human body wants to fix itself. The human body is trying all of the time to fix itself. Therefore, it becomes the naturopathic doctor's sacred obligation to develop and deliver therapeutics which support and promote the body's built-in ability to fix itself. Now, you know, given the choice between going to a medical professional who was trained how to do that and bring somebody into a state of health, or go to a medical profession who was trained to manage things with drugs, making you weaker over time, most people would choose the first way. But people don't know that there is a first way because of the medical monopoly. The overwhelming power of the pharmaceutical industry. Big Pharma enjoys more political largesse than the military. It's staggering the amount of power and money and prestige which is stacked against everybody who is not an MD. Now, an interesting point to ponder here from a legal point of view is that, you know, it's against the law in the United States to treat a disease without using a drug. You can't do it. It's against the law, which is another aspect of the monopoly. The only thing that can treat a disease legally is a drug. And that's a ridiculous law on its face, but that's the law nonetheless. So in naturopathic medicine, in community settings, in a network marketing setting, in the Youngevity setting, we must be careful and we must talk not about diseases, but we must rather talk about building health. Because that's in point of fact what we do. And this is not a semantical shenanigans game. This is in point of fact what we do. I've treated thousands of people over the last 31 years, and not once have I ever treated the disease. I've helped thousands of people to recover their health, and there's a gigantic difference. Now, in the wonderful world of applied naturopathic medicine, there are no licensed doctors who are currently alive who bring as much to the table as Dr. Joel Wallach. Dr. Wallach is more researched. He has more clinical experience than any living naturopathic doctor. And Dr. Wallach's message to the world, his most important message, which everybody in Youngevity needs to wrap their heads around and understand and re-energize themselves about, is the simple notion that there are 90 essential nutrients that the human body needs in order to function optimally. 90 essential nutrients. These are the things the body needs to work the way that nature and God intended it, the raw materials that the body needs to recover its health. Why? Because it wants to. And oh yes, it can. Now 66%, 2/3, let's do the math, 2/3 of your body's nutrient needs are minerals. Calcium and strontium and phosphorus and zinc and selenium, minerals. The human body can't make a mineral. The only way that minerals get into the body is if they're in the soil that the plants are growing in, and then, you know, we eat the plant or the animal eats the plant and we eat the animal. But the way that Monsanto has been encouraging farmers to farm their food for the last 100 years has led to less and less and less and less minerals in the soil. And oh, by the way, did you know that as more carbon dioxide is in the atmosphere, there's less minerals in the plants? So it is impossible to secure all the body's nutrient needs just from eating food. You can't do it. It's impossible. It's not just tricky. It's not just difficult. You can't do it. It's impossible. Supplementation is mandatory. And 66% of the body's nutrient needs are minerals, right? So if I was only allowed by law to recommend one nutritional supplement to people, hands down, all day long, 365 days a year, and an extra day on leap year, it would be Youngevity's plant-derived minerals, hands down. That product contains 100% of the body's mineral needs, which are 66% of your body's nutrient needs. And they're 100% organic, and they're over 98% absorbable, which, by the way, in the wonderful world of applied medical nutrition is kind of a big deal. Because in the ultimate analysis, it's not what you swallow, it's what you absorb. So, you know, most over-the-counter calcium supplements, for example, are like 12% absorbable. Which is better, 12% or 98%? Well, I'll take 98%, Alex. Thank you very much. This is the most important aspect of Youngevity's armamentarium. It's the plant-derived minerals. And I would encourage everybody on this Zoom call to do a little in-house experiment. I would encourage you to, as an experiment, for 21 days in a row, double or triple the amount of plant-derived minerals that you swallow every day.
Wow.
If you're taking an ounce down right now every day, do 2. If you're doing 2 ounces a day right now, do 4. If you're doing 3 ounces a day now, do 5 or 6 for 21 days, and look to see what you feel, because that, by the way, is where the rubber hits the road. We can research as much as we want, and we can, you know, research is good and it's important and necessary. However, where the rubber hits the road is results. Well, how do I feel after I do it? What happens to me after I do it? What happens to my blood work? What happens to my x-rays? How's my mood, my energy, my sleep, my weight? How did it affect me? And if you want to rapidly accelerate your Youngevity business, then have everybody in your downline double the amount of plant-derived minerals that you're swallowing on a daily basis. You will see remarkable results, especially, but not exclusively, but especially if those people are weekend warriors or exercise maniacs, or, you know, even if they just do a jazzercise class 3 times a week. When you take an increased amount of the plant-derived minerals into the body, it makes a gigantic difference. This is, I think, you know, it's being, especially if you've been in Youngevity for more than 5 years, there's so many products, and we hear the message so frequently that sometimes the foundation stuff gets lost in all of the noise. Lean on the plant-derived minerals, because the plant-derived minerals is in fact what separates Youngevity from everybody else. I am and always will be your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden. Check out my website, glidden.healthcare. Live long and prosper.
Holy mackerel, 18 minutes on the money, an epic presentation from Dr. Peter Glidden. No, but I've been watching your videos for like a week now, and I am telling you, Dr. Glidden, you are a rock star, and this world is better with you in it. And thank you for your stand. You're tough as nails, and you need to be, and don't change. We love you. back to Paul. Oh, Paul, we're going to go over to Sean Brown real quick. You know,
Okay.
he's kind of a microphone hog. And so he goes, why didn't I get to start this meeting? I said, Sean, I feel horrible. Would you mind going after Peter Glidden? So he's going to come on and talk about some specials, you guys, because not only are, this is a microphone,